What's going on, YouTube? It's been some time, but hey, man, we on time. Let's talk Texas today. Now, we just watched 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony get handed down a murder sentence that's going to give him 35 to life. Now, if you're not familiar with the two-tier justice system here in America, this ought to teach and inform you of what's going on in Texas. Now, let's get into some of the facts of the case, right? On April 2nd, 2026, at a district track meet in Frisco, Texas, a 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, he sought shelter out the rain at an opposing school shelter where he also had a friend, so he wasn't by himself. Argument broke out with members from Memorial High School. They asked Carmelo to leave. He didn't leave. So 17-year-old Austin Metcalf stepped in, a 6'1", 213-pound white male. He confronted Carmelo, which is a 5'8", 130-pound, young man. It was uneven. And there was also 3 or 4 other people around surrounding Carmelo, right? Now, the defense also stated that Metcalf made the first contact by grabbing, pushing, and shoving Carmelo, right? Anthony pulled a knife. He had a knife in his backpack, which was legal to carry. Why he had it in school? Probably for incidences like this. He stabbed Metcalf in the chest once. And tragically, this young man passed away of his injuries. Now, during the arrest, a scared young man without representation, Anthony immediately admitted to what happened. And while in custody, this is also in the transcripts, Carmelo also, he said he put his hands on me, and I told him not to, referring to Metcalf. Now, as this continued to go on, and it's been in the news for a couple of months, I seen the misrepresentation in what actually happened. When you go get the public records, it shows that this was an incident, or maybe in the form of bullying. But last night, or yesterday, I should say, the jury found Carmelo Anthony guilty. Now he's facing life, 35, 99 years, forever. Now, in my heart, I truly believe this was self-defense. Now, as people of color, and especially being a black man, we have to learn discretion. We have to learn not to get in our emotions. And that's harder said than done. I can't lie about that. Now, locking up Carmelo Anthony for 35 years, it doesn't bring anything to Austin. Austin Metcalf is not coming back. His parents should have taught him that. And looking into his history, there's some issues there that need to be addressed. Now, a second life has been destroyed to satisfy the system. A system that loves punishment, and a system that loves to keep people of color, especially in Texas, behind the walls. This is not a street crime, not in my opinion. This is a schoolyard altercation that went wrong. All right, now look at the situation, right? A young man, Austin Metcalf, he lost his life, and it is a tragedy. And that's something that his family's going to have to deal with, the rest of their life. And I don't condone any type of violence. But when you look at the math, and you have a 5'8", 130-pound young kid trapped under a tent while it's pouring down rain, surrounded by people he doesn't really know. Then he's being confronted by a young man that's 6'1", over 210 pounds. What would you do? Carmelo Anthony was really powerless. And if you was in that situation, what have you would have done? Now, I have children. I have a son. And I've taught my kids to be respectful in whatever they do. And if you're gonna put your hands on somebody, expect somebody to put their hands on you. And that's just the reality we live in. And I hate that black people have to teach our kids that. We have to teach our kids about when the police pull you over, how to properly act. But the thing about that is, it's instilled in our DNA. I taught my kids to say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and be respectful to others. Now, maybe Austin Metcalf should have took more of that approach. That's just my opinion. I woke up this morning with that on my mind because it hurt me. And it's the second young man, even though he's not physically unalive, his life is over. Even if they appeal it, this is gonna scar this young man at 17 years old. And it's the second young brother, the Korean guy, allowed the guy run out of the store. Now these incidents are happening. It makes me more aware. And I think you should be aware too. And yes, we have to teach our kids better, but teach your kids not to put their hands on people. All right, so now let's talk about these jurors, right? They pulled 600 people out this jury pool. Out of those 600 people, nobody out of the 12 jurors were black. Now let's start there, right? The prosecution used the last 3 strikes to get rid of 3 black women, claiming that they were educators. Now that sounds like a systemic lockout, right? Now, Karmelo's life is in the hands of people that don't understand his world, that don't understand his fears, and have no clue about his reality. The one thing I'll say before I get out of here, people say there's a race problem, and I say this often. No, it's not a race problem. It's a problem race. With that, hey, you stay informed, you stay aware, and please be safe. Talk to you in a minute.